You check your phone again, even though you already know they won't text. And that's the hardest part, not that they left, but that a part of you still expects them to come back, still hopes, still waits, and you hate that feeling. But you can't turn it off. So the question stays, will they come back? Or is this really the end? At first, you don't accept it. You replay everything, every word, every look, every moment where something felt off. You search for the exact second when it started falling apart. Because if you can find it, maybe you can fix it. So you tell yourself, they just need time. They're confused. They'll realize what we had, and for a while, that belief keeps you alive. Because the alternative, that they chose a life without you, that's something your mind is not ready to hold yet. But here's the truth people avoid. By the time someone leaves, you're not losing them. You're losing someone who already stopped feeling something for you, and that didn't happen overnight. They've been leaving, in their mind, for weeks. Sometimes months. Quietly. While still talking to you, while still seeing you, while still saying it's okay. Not all endings are loud. Some don't explode. They fade. Slower replies. Less interest. Less presence. Even when they're right next to you, and you feel it. Of course you feel it. But you ignore it. Because losing them slowly feels safer than losing them all at once. So you adjust. You text less. You try not to be too much. You overthink every message. You give them space, hoping space will bring them closer. But it doesn't. Because space doesn't fix what's already breaking. It just makes the distance real. And then it happens. The conversation, the shift, the moment you already felt coming, but weren't ready to hear. It's not the same anymore. I need to figure myself out. I don't feel what I used to feel. Different words. Seeing truth. They're already gone. So, will they come back? Sometimes, yes, but not for the reason you're hoping. People don't come back because they suddenly understand your value. They come back because they feel your absence. There's a difference. You weren't just a person to them. You were a pattern, a constant. And when that disappears, their mind reacts, not with love. With discomfort. Imagine this. Late night. No distractions. No one knew. Just silence. And suddenly, they feel it. Not you. The absence of you. Your voice not there. Your presence gone. The connection missing. And their brain does something dangerous. It doesn't remember why they left. It remembers how it felt when things were good. That's when they text, "Hey, how have you been?" And your heart reacts instantly. Because for you, it means everything. But for them, it doesn't always mean the same. Sometimes, they don't miss you. They miss how they felt with you. Sometimes, they don't want you back. They just don't want to feel alone. And this is where people break, because they think they came back, so it must be real. But listen carefully. Returning is not the same as choosing, and missing you is not the same as being ready for you. If someone truly chooses you, they don't risk losing you that easily. They don't slowly disappear and then reappear when it's convenient. They communicate. They fight. They stay present. But emotions don't care about logic. You can understand all of this and still want them back, not because they were perfect, but because they were yours. You don't just miss them. You miss the routine, the late-night conversations, the feeling of being chosen, the version of you that existed with them. And your mind starts rewriting everything. It softens the bad parts, erases the distance, edits the ending, until the past looks better than it really was. You're not remembering the truth. You're remembering what you wish it was. This is attachment. Not always love. Attachment says, "I feel empty without them." Love says, "I want what's healthy," even if it's not them. And those two feelings feel almost identical, but they lead to completely different lives. So let's be honest, if they came back right now, with no change, no growth, no understanding of what went wrong, would it actually work? Or would it just restart the same ending? Because most people don't want the person back. They want the feeling back. Maybe they will come back, but not as the person you remember. And now you're stuck between two realities. If they don't come back, you have to let go. If they do come back, you have to face the truth. And the truth is uncomfortable. Not everyone who returns is meant to stay. So how do you know the difference? How do you tell if it's real this time? Or just another cycle? And more importantly, what do you do when they come back? Or when they don't? So how do you know if it's real this time? Or just another cycle, disguised as hope? Because here's what nobody tells you when they come back. It doesn't feel like a fairy tale. It feels confusing. Slower, heavier, uncertain. You don't trust it. Not fully. Because a part of you remembers exactly how it ended. And no matter how much you missed them, you can't unsee that version of them who chose to walk away. So you start watching, listening, analyzing every little thing. Not because you want to, but because now you're trying to protect yourself. And this is the first real test. Not their words, their behavior. Anyone can come back and say, I miss you, I made a mistake, I want us again. That's easy. What's hard is showing it differently this time, because real return doesn't look emotional. It looks consistent. They don't just appear when they feel lonely. They stay. Even when it's inconvenient, they don't avoid hard conversations. They go into them. Without disappearing. Without shutting down. They don't make you guess anymore. They make you feel sure. If that's not happening, then you're not seeing a new version of them. You're seeing the same pattern starting again. And this is where you have to be honest. Not with them, with yourself. Are they really back? Or are they just visiting your life until they feel better again? Because some people return, not to rebuild, but to reconnect just enough to not feel the loss. And when they feel okay again, they disappear. Again. That single quote says not love. That's emotional. That's using connection as a temporary relief. And if you accept that, you don't get closure, you get another wound. So here's the real answer you've been avoiding. Yes, they might come back, but that doesn't mean you should take them back. Because the real question was never, will they come back? The real question is, will they come back as someone different? And even deeper, will you still be the same person who is waiting? Because something has already changed. You felt what it's like to be left. To be uncertain. To not be chosen. And that experience, it either breaks you, or it wakes you up. You start seeing things clearer. What you ignored before. What you accepted. What you tolerated. And suddenly, your standards change. Not because you became cold, but because you became aware. You realize, love is not confusion. Love is not inconsistency. Love is not silence. Love is stable. Clear, present. So if they come back, you don't meet them with desperation anymore. You meet them with awareness. You don't ask, do they still love me? You ask, are they capable of loving me right this time? And that changes everything. Because now, you're not afraid of losing them. You're afraid of losing yourself again. And that fear, it protects you. So if they come back with the same energy, you'll feel it. Faster than before, clearer than before, and this time, you won't chase it, you won't fix it, you won't shrink yourself to make it work, you'll walk away. Not because you don't care, but because now, you care about yourself too, and if they don't come back, that's where the real growth begins, because closure was never something they were supposed to give you. Closure is the moment you stop asking, why did they leave? And start understanding. They were not ready for the kind of love I needed. Not everyone you love is capable of loving you back the right way, and that's painful, but it's also freeing. Because it means, it wasn't about your worth. It was about their capacity. And once you understand that, you stop waiting. Not because you stopped loving them, but because you stopped abandoning yourself. So will they come back? Maybe, but by the time they do, you might not be there anymore. Not because you moved on fast, but because you finally moved forward. And that's the real ending. Not them coming back, not you waiting. You choosing yourself. If this hit you, you already know the answer.